Sorry about that. Hello everyone, my name is Noah the Man, and I am finally back, and I have finished Geometry Dash. Well, I can't really call it that because trademark shenanigans or whatever, so I decided to call it, drumroll please, Algebra Sprinting. Because geometry and algebra, you probably get it. Let's just move on to the video. But before we do that, this video is sponsored by no one. Did you honestly think a small creator like me would ever get sponsored by anyone? Okay, let's actually move on to the video now. So it all started with white squares on bigger white squares. Obviously I added a few sprites first, and that is how I created the abomination you see on screen. I may have accidentally deleted the first bit of footage while cleaning out storage. By I may have, I mean I did. Sorry about that. What I'm working on here is getting the cube to rotate when I jump, but it isn't working, and I don't remember why. So, as you could imagine, I was a tiny bit frustrated. By a tiny bit, I really mean I wanted to throw my computer into a dumpster. Code not working when it should is pretty annoying. And in the next bit of footage, I'm working on a new ground checking system. It is actually going to work surprisingly well, I think. Editing me here, the ground checker actually caused like the biggest issue in my entire game. I ended up fixing it, outside of footage though. Oh no. I apologize for the inconvenience. I forgot to assign the hitbox in the inspector and make it a trigger. Anyway, I'm going to fix that right now. I then proceeded to make the shocking discovery that I forgot to record all the level building. Now onto the next bit of footage. Here I am working on building the main menu, which was actually probably the most fun part of this video, to be honest. Now you may be wondering why I say it was the most fun. That's because I already knew how to build a main menu. Believe it or not, I joined the GMTK Game Jam of 2026 and I had to build a main menu for that, so I already knew how, and I already had the code, so I just kind of copy and pasted all of it. But enough about the coding. Let's talk about the visuals. That was by far the most fun part of building the main menu. I got to hand draw the buttons, and basically what I did with that, I just used the first line that was on the page, and I didn't do any undos to make the lines proper. The primary reason for doing this, however, was because the development process needed to go by much faster because I was running out of time. School was coming up soon and I wanted to finish the video by this time. However, I was unable to do this by the time of recording. The second reason for doing this was because I needed to make the video entertaining, and funny shaped buttons are entertaining, I hope. You guys can tell me what you think about funny shaped buttons in the comments. I will now shut up and leave you with the music while you watch me work hastily on this video game. One thing I would like to quickly mention is that you do not need to pause the video to look at my code, because I will be scrolling through that at the very end of the video. Now, back to the music. What I'm doing here is I'm building the game to see if the main menu is working, and as you're about to see, the scale is off. So I'm going to be fixing that in just a moment. Just stick tight. Stick tight? What am I saying? I'm so stupid. Anyway, what you're about to see is me having a high OCD moment. I don't actually have OCD, but I did really want it to be very precise, and I don't know why. So I spent a lot of time working on that segment, but yeah, it ended up being perfectly sized and awesome. So any viewers with OCD will be very happy with me, I hope. So what you're seeing right here is me building the game for the first time after having the main menu work properly. I'm just going to fast forward it really quickly so you can see my first issue that I ran into. So in this level, this is the first ship section. However, the ship is not flying and working as it's supposed to. This is the first issue that I ran into that took a very long time to fix. But before I get around to doing that, I'm gonna build the music manager. Don't remember why I did it in this order, but I did. I'm gonna save y'all's ears from torture because the music is atrocious, the loop is as well. So yeah. You'll still have to endure it at the end when I showcase the full level, but you're welcome for now. Anyway, if someone were to ask me to describe how it felt to make the music, I would tell them it was like walking on 500 miles of Lego bricks while your legs are broken and the world's on fire. So let's just say I was really happy to get this done and over with. It was at times like these where I thought to myself, am I in over my head? Nah, I'll just keep going. But if I'm being honest with you guys, the only thing that kept me going was determination. And I would strongly encourage any of you viewers to try and have said determination in any projects or jobs or anything really that you do. And no, this is not an Undertale reference. Yes, I love that game, but no. Up next is getting the death sound to work. It's horrendous. I'll show you at the end of the video. Your ears aren't going to be happy with it, but I'm going to do it anyway. So what you see here is me exploding because I need to test out the death sound, really, that's all. After a long 7 minutes, you will finally get to see Algebra Sprinting! And so concludes Algebra Sprinting, a game that was very long and very tedious to make, especially when I forgot the tile mapping exists. Anyway, is anyone else's ears happy that the music is over? Like, that loop was atrocious, I'm just gonna say. And as I promised all you viewers, here is the death sound. Okay, this is the actual outro now. I'm sorry for destroying your eardrums with that high-pitched squealing sound. Even I'm surprised with how I made that with my own voice. If any of y'all have thoughts on this video or the video game, make sure to leave them in the comments. Also, if you'd like to request any video games that I make next, just make sure to leave a comment. And I'm sorry ahead of time, but I'm not making any Hollow Knight or Celeste type games. It's way out of my skill level. Also, I hid a few references to some of my favorite video games in this code. How about you go try and find them? Good luck! Hope y'all have a great day, and I shall see y'all next time. I'm outta here.